is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going to check out the video. What is good, YouTube? I know you guys are excited, especially if you're Miami Heat. The best player in franchise history just re-signed. Dwyane Wade will be coming back possibly for his last year. With the Miami Heat, the team that he started with, the team he won with multiple championships, in the Finals MVP, the season where he won his scoring title in average 37 and 5. The man has really gave his heart and soul and spirit to this organization, and this might be his last year, he said, but he is coming back to play. And a lot of people should be happy because he did end his season well. He could have definitely went out this year, this past season, the way he did, averaging 12 points a game, 40% from the field, 22 from three. But it really wasn't that really mattered. It was more or less the playoffs against the Sixers, where he shot 44% from the field, but averaged 16 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 steal a game. 11 points game 1, 28 points in game 2, which they did win, and he took over that fourth quarter. He had an 8-point game in a game 3. Obviously, in game 4, he had 25 points and tried to will him. Just wasn't enough. And then he had a solid 11 points. Didn't shoot the ball well, but he gave his all and whatever he could bring to the table. Obviously, this is a move that we all was speculating what was going to happen. We didn't know if Dwyane Wade was going to come back. He was contemplating trying for a different team. Then he said that the only way he will come back if it's for Miami. Obviously, him and Pat Riley butted heads a couple seasons ago. They didn't want to pay him what he deserved. They wanted him to continue to take pay cuts. But at the end of the day, he came back, got his $20 million. The next year, he ended up getting his $20 million from Chicago, which was a dream because his favorite player was Michael Jordan, and he wanted to be him. Obviously, he's one of the best shooting guards in the NBA, and Michael Jordan plays that same position, and he comes from Chicago. Obviously, I live in Wisconsin, and he went to Marquette. That's not too far away from my house, and he was able to make a name for himself at Marquette, and it was good for him to stay around his family, but it was a good thing. People do get mad that he didn't finish his career in Miami. People feel like at the end of the day, Dwyane Wade should have never left. Him and Pat Riley should have been able to talk it out, and he should never went to Cleveland. He should never went to Chicago. And you guys got to remember, when he went to Cleveland, he didn't even play there the whole season. He had a decent season in Cleveland, but then he ended up getting traded for a second-round pick to go back to Miami. And if you look at that, like, you didn't really stay in Cleveland, and then you ended up in Miami. Then you're going to come back this year for Miami. It do, even with the Paul Pierce thing, for him to come back and retire as a Celtic, it do seem a little weird. I know it's nothing personal. It's just business is a phrase that a lot of people use. But that is kind of weird to see a player of Dwyane Wade caliber, and he still was one of the top 50 players at that time that he went to Chicago. And he did help them make the playoffs, so they did need a guy like him to help Jimmy Butler and Rondo. And they actually was up 2-0 going into that playoff series in the series. So Dwyane Wade was able to help them win the game against the Sixers. He was able to almost help them win 2 games, and he was at an advanced age. He doesn't play that many minutes. He doesn't really practice that much because of his body, and he needs to rest to give his full potential. Obviously, this team is still young. They are on the cups of being a contender while also being mediocre, while also being an injury away from being a lottery team. So they're in a weird position that you don't want to be in the NBA. Good enough to make the playoffs, not great enough to contend for a championship, not having enough pieces to really be a legitimate contender in the East, but enough to compete and enough to stay out of that top 10, which is bad, especially considering that this may be Dwyane Wade last season, and they not even close to a contender in the East, so he will not be going out with a legitimate chance of winning the championship. Obviously, that's rare if you do, But you would think that since they made the playoffs last year, that they'd be able to build upon that. They didn't really do anything new in free agency. They hadn't really add no big piece. They didn't really add another all-star, so it is a little disappointing to see Dwyane Wade really contemplating retirement, finally wanting to make that decision to come back, and he really don't have a legitimate chance at winning a championship with Miami in his final possibly year with them. I do think he still got a lot left in the tank, whether it's on or off the court. Obviously, he can be a mentor to the people like Justice Winslow and obviously Josh Richardson, guys that's long, lankier, and taller than him, but they have that two-way potential like Dwyane Wade had. And Dwyane Wade ended up becoming an All NBA defender, and he was one of the best, guard defensively of the generation, other than Kobe. And on top of that, he was one of the best shot blocking shooting guards of all time, and he's only 6'4". So the knowledge and the preparation that he can bring to the table, and the seriousness, but also being more of a mentor and a father figure to a lot of these younger guys that's new to the team, that's been on the team and trying to take their game to the next level. It is good to have a guy like Dwyane Wade not just showing up in practice, but showing them and teaching them and consistently bringing down the message from Sport 2. He won a championship with Eris Spoelstra. He obviously won a championship with Pat Riley, and he's a guy that can be in that locker room that can relay messages. He's a guy that can be in a locker room that's going to push them that extra length that they need to go to get to where they want to go in development, so they can help bring this team back to the championship days that they was with Shaq and obviously with LeBron and Chris Bosh. But like I said, this is one of them stories where, we wanted to see Dwyane Wade, at least try to get another championship under his belt. His loyalty and his commitment to Miami and being basically family with the organization allowed him to come back for this last season. And obviously, I do want to still see him play, so I am happy that he is coming back. He do have enough left in the tank. You can still play him 15 to 25 minutes, and he can give you double-digit points on every night that he plays those type of minutes. He can always steal you a game. He can always close a game, and he can always make big plays, whether it's on the offensive end or defensive end. So you do want to have a player like that on your bench, and you do want to have a player like that on your team, especially when you count, that he's a superstar and one of the best players in NBA history, still being a part of your team, still going to work, and still being a professional, and still being in the locker room. So he's a winner. He's a champion. He's a Finals MVP, one of the best players that we have ever seen. And it's good to have him still in the league and still helping these young guys try to reach their full potential. Another thing I would definitely say is I just want to see where this Heat team is going. I'll talk about that later. I do have to do a rebuilding. Now that we're talking about Dwyane Wade, might as well bring up the Heat at the end of the day. So I'll talk about that in the next video. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think that this Heat team can legitimately compete for a championship? If they can make a trade, they didn't really do anything in free agency. They locked up cap space wise, and it is kind of random to see Dwyane Wade commit back to this team in these type of circumstances. But after chasing his dream, going to Chicago, after playing with his friend LeBron, trying to bring a championship back to Cleveland, he ended up jumping aboard off shift. And, now he swam back to Miami. He's going to be coming back for a full year. And I wonder how many games he played. Hopefully he doesn't have any significant injuries during this season, because we don't want to see Dwyane Wade go out like that. We want to see him go out, with a dominant performance like Kobe did, or at least, making it to the playoffs and having like a series that he had last year where he was still showing that he can have an impact on the game. So even if they do make the playoff as whatever seed, I still definitely want to see Dwyane Wade just give us one more flash. His name used to be Flash. One more flashback, and hopefully he can do that in the playoffs. At the end of the day, Dwyane Wade is one of the best players of the generation. Obviously, he's one of the best players at the shooting guard position. And obviously, he's the best player in Miami Heat history. So it is right that he does end his career in Miami. And, hopefully that, be good for the fans to see Dwyane Wade come back. He still is young enough to play. He still do have a little burst. He still got his little first step. He still got his little mid-range jumper. He still can get to the free throw line. He can get hot from three every once in a while like he always did. It's good to see him just do this last time right. Because remember, like I said, he was in Cleveland last year. It is good to see him have this one last full season with the Miami Heat. And to go out like this should be special, whether they make or miss the playoffs. We prefer them to make it, but we definitely will see what he has left in the tank, as this most likely will be his final year. So check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description in the comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Like on Facebook to show support. Also, check out my spread shirt, analysisplayground.com. Here you can find my Quinn Wade basketball analysis t-shirts. Say that with every video, it is good to have a t-shirt about it. Here, thanks for the support. Thanks for liking on Facebook. Thanks for liking the video. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for continuing watching. And thanks for the support. And like I said, if you want any merchandise to promote the brand besides word of mouth, it's all on Spreadshirt. Click the link, pick what you want, pick the color, and you get a lot of options and a lot of different type of materials. And you can support the brand anytime you want to, because it will always be available and it'll always be up. And you can get any type of customized gear you want to. You got the freedom to design the gear that you want, and all you got to do is purchase it when you do it when you like. I'm gone. Let me know what you guys think and what to expect. Miami Heat will be up next.